Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiskey Wednesday. This week we're going to talk about something real special, which is our second release of our single barrel collection, also known as our S.B.C. So let's get into it. So this release of our S.B.C. is going to be barrel number 16430, and I initially discovered that barrel when I was doing some blends for another whiskey that we're making, and I really fell in love with this particular whiskey. And what sold me on it was the finish. Actually, it has a real long lingering butterscotch on that finish. It's almost like you got a piece of candy in your mouth. So I really fell in love with it during that, and decided to set it aside for a future S.B.C. So this barrel ended up yielding 180 total bottles, and it's a highly allocated lottery item, so it'll be available throughout the state of Iowa, but in order for retailers to get it, they actually have to win a lottery system. So be sure to check in with your favorite retailer, ask them to enter the lottery, and hopefully you can get your hands on one. So this barrel will be released at 122.2 proof, which is the highest that we've ever actually released a single barrel, so that's always exciting. And to give you a quick reminder, the last single barrel collection we did, I believe that was released at 121.6. So it's a little bit higher than the last one, and it is the all-time highest single barrel release we've ever done. So the majority of the aging process happened for barrel 16430 in barrel shed 7. However, that barrel was put away and started the aging process before barrel shed 7 even existed. So it started out in barrel shed 5 for about the first year or two, and then was transferred over to barrel shed 7, where it did the rest of its aging. So weather always plays a really interesting role in how we age our whiskeys here at Cedar Ridge, because we don't do any climate control or humidity control within our barrel sheds. So the temperature, the humidity, it's always the same in our barrel sheds as it is outside. And anyway, while barrel 16430 was aging, it saw some fun weather along the way. It had, I think, 2 different polar vortexes, which are going to cause, major swings within that barrel of temperature. And then I doubt this one had much of an impact on the aging, but it also saw the derecho that happened last year. Maybe that shook the warehouses enough to kind of agitate the barrels, who knows, but definitely saw some fun weather along the way. So inside barrel shed 7, where this barrel finished the aging process, it was on the 5th rack, so up as high as we go. With that being said, it shouldn't really make much of an impact here, whether it's on our bottom rack, top rack, on the edge or in the center, because of the way that we age our barrels. So we have a lateral warehouse configuration, which means we spread wide instead of tall. So that would make much more of an impact if we stacked our barrels, 20 or 30 barrels high, where heat's gonna rise way up and it's gonna be cold on bottom. We're able to avoid that by configuring our warehouses wide instead of tall. So one of my favorite things about the S.B.C. is that it's not a forecasted item. It's not something that we have any sort of a quota on. So it's truly, whenever I find a barrel that I really love, we'll release that one whenever it happens. There's no, we need to do it once a month or 5 times a year. It's truly about quality, and whenever we find a really good barrel, then we'll release it. Thanks so much for joining us for Whiskey Wednesday. I look forward to hearing your feedback on S.B.C. barrel number 16430. Our first release had the first release that we did, it got a lot of really good feedback. One notable person was Fred Minnick. He gave it a really great The first barrel we did, we got a lot of really good feedback, most notably from Fred Minnick. He gave us a really great review, and all the lotteries went really well throughout the state of Iowa, so I'm hoping that barrel 16430 does just as well, and I look forward to hearing people's feedback.